So this is a document which talks about the suggestions by the British Council for the CBSE Science, Mathematics and English papers for classes from 6 to 10. If you see the contents of this, there are assessment specifications which has been provided, the design principles for the question paper, and also recommendations on types of questions which can be asked for the different sections. Let's go to the math section. A little more priority I'm giving to maths, being a maths teacher myself. Okay, that's the part I can explain better. So here, if you're looking at the 9th grade paper, so this is a question which can be asked from identifying irrational numbers. Which of these is an irrational number? And you need to choose the correct answer from the options which are given. Now, important thing to note here is they have mentioned that this is in paper 1, which is non-calculator based, to be used in non-calculator paper. That means the British Council is now recommending having 2 papers for each subject. There could be paper 1 where it is a non-calculator based, and you could have a paper 2. Paper 2 would be calculator based. So this is a welcome change. Often you have felt, students, that when you're doing calculations, why are we being forced to do so many calculations in the papers, long divisions, a lot of different types of multiplications. And what happens is when you can't use a calculator, questions also becomes restricted. They cannot experiment with different types of values when you are not able to use a calculator. So the move to be able to use a calculator is a welcome change. I'm not expecting this again for this year, but this is something which will be definitely put forth in the coming years. Now, let's look at another type of question, which is from the calculator-based paper. In calculator-based paper, estimate probability. So they've given a table over here, and it lists the number of times you can find a particular number when you roll a dice, when 4 different friends are rolling this dice. All right. And you can see the outcome that comes out. They're asking you calculate over here what is the best estimate of probability that dice shows a 1 or 2. So 1 or 2 means this part. You need to total this up and then divide by the total number of times that the dice has been thrown. Dice has been thrown totally how many times? It has been thrown 200 times. So you need to total this up and divide by 200. Now, often what happens is in exams, you might spend a lot of time in actually calculating this addition of this and then dividing by 200. So there is a proposal that let us use calculator for this, because the main idea is you should understand the context. They're not trying to test your calculation skills in this particular question. They're trying to check over here in this question your understanding of the concept of probability. So this could come in a calculator based paper. Another feature of the document is that they've clearly specified the marking scheme, and the marking scheme contains different ways in which you could express the final answer. This is a feature which is missing in our current marking schemes. And often as a teacher, I also find it sometimes a little confusing to explain to the students that how you represent your final answer. And we end up with the recommendation, your board exam is corrected by an outside teacher, so let's stick to the official marking scheme. Please present your answer in this way only, even though there are multiple ways of representing the answer. But right now, as per the new recommendation, they're telling that you could have this much marks if so much steps has been done. You could have different ways of expressing the final answer, and there could be special cases also. So some people may write the answer in this way, some people may write the answer in another way. So everything is made clear in the marking scheme so that the person who is actually correcting your paper does not have any confusion as to how the mark should be awarded. Let's look at some other sections relevant to this paper. So if you're looking at the 10th grade paper where you're using trigonometric ratios. So this is a question from the calculator based paper, paper 2. Over here, they're giving you a rectangle. Calculate smaller angle that diagonal makes with sides of rectangle. Now here, when you're calculating the trigonometric ratio, those of you who have already learned trigonometry will be able to make out what I'm talking about. So if you're looking at this part of the question, all right, tan of the angle which is asked is 3 by 8. Now, 3 by 8 is not a familiar ratio which you learn in your table. Okay, so again, for those who study trigonometry, you'll be able to follow what I'm discussing here. In trigonometry, you have a table where you learn certain set values for 0 degree, 30 degree, 45, 60, 90. So questions are always based on those angles only. But in real life, we know that angles could be so many different angles. It's not necessarily only these angles. So this is a case where you're getting a ratio as 3 by 8. And in order to find the angle corresponding to this, you would need to use your calculator. Without the calculator, you would not be able to solve for this. So this is another change that has been proposed in the exam. All these changes are a welcome move. It is bringing us closer to types of questions which can be actually asked in international assessments and which are more practical when it comes to your later university studies and college studies also. So we should definitely welcome this move. I would like to end the video today by showing you certain examples of actual questions from international assessments, which has been modified already to fit your CBSE question paper. So let's look at this question based on sailing ships, which came in the 2009 PISA assessment, which I was talking about earlier, okay, which was the international assessment for students. So here there was a question on sailing ships, and you had some information given based on the picture which has been provided over here. It was followed by 4 to 5 sub questions. One of the sub questions was this. So there is a sailing ship picture which you can see with a kite sail attached to it. And the question asks about length of rope for the kite sail. Now, those of you have learned, those of you have already crossed 10th who are in 11th or 12th now, know that this is based on trigonometry concept. And if you see how this question was modified for the CBSE boards. Now, mind you, this was a 2009 PISA question. In 2020 sample board paper, this is how the question came. So this was the sample board paper for 2020. In this, you had a question which was directly taken from the PISA context and modified to fit the concepts which you have learned. Another example I'll show you. This was an example of a question, again, which came in PISA 2009. So you had a farmhouse type question, and there was a model of the farmhouse which was given. And based on this model, there were many sub questions which was asked, where you had to answer questions on areas and the volume and everything. Even coordinates based questions was asked on this. In the 2021 10th grade board sample paper, question was modified as this. So this was from the 2021 board sample papers, the CBSE board sample paper. So you can see there is going to be a very big influence of international assessments like PISA and even the exams conducted for schools like the GCSE exams, the IGCSE exams. There is going to be an influence of exam patterns and questions from these boards in your coming CBSE board exams. I hope that this video was very informative to you in terms of the kinds of changes that can be expected in your question paper patterns. Now, nothing to fear. These are welcome changes, as I mentioned. The important thing that all of you must do is now learn with trying to understand the concepts in greater detail. Have a good understanding of what you're studying in terms of its meaning and relevance to real life. Questions, I will try to make sure that I'm introducing to you. I will try to use this channel to make sure that I bring in more engaging content, more engaging information, which would be relevant in terms of your examinations. Thank you so much for watching, and do leave in your comments below and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.